The restaurant was almost empty. Just 3 hours until closing time. She wiped down table 7 for the 3rd time that night. Her arms hurt. Her feet hurt. Everything hurt. But she needed this job. The bell above the door rang. 5 men walked in. Expensive suits. Dark sunglasses, even though the sun had set 2 hours ago. She knew what they were. Everyone in the city knew what they were. The one in front, the tall one with the scar above his eyebrow, he walked like he owned the place. Maybe he did. She grabbed 5 menus and walked over. Good evening. Table for 5. The tall man didn't even look at her. Corner booth. Now. Not a question. A command. She led them to the corner booth. The leather seats creaked as they sat down. What can I get you gentlemen tonight? The tall man finally looked up at her. His eyes were cold. Empty. Like looking into a frozen lake.
Steak. Rare.
Very rare. If I see any pink, you're gonna have a problem. She wrote it down. Rare means pink, sir. Did you mean? Did I stutter? The other 4 men went quiet.
No, sir.
I just wanted to. I don't pay you to think. I pay you to bring me food. Her jaw tightened. You don't pay me at all, sir. My boss does. The restaurant went silent. One of the other men whistled low. The tall man stood up slowly. He was at least 6'3". Maybe more. She was 5'6". He stepped closer. What's your name? Why do you need to know? Because when I get someone fired, I like to remember their name. She met his eyes. Didn't blink. Then I guess you'll have to remember the waitress who didn't take your garbage. His eyebrow raised. Just slightly. Then he smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. You got some fire in you. I like that. He sat back down. Here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna bring me my steak. If it's perfect, I'll tip you $1,000. She blinked. 1,000. But if it's not perfect, he leaned back. You and me. Parking lot. 3 rounds. 3 rounds of what? A fight.
You. Me.
No rules. The whole restaurant was watching now. Even the cook had poked his head out from the kitchen. Sir, I'm not going to. Scared. I'm a waitress. You want me to fight you because of a steak. I want to see if that fire in your mouth matches the fire in your fists. He pulled out a roll of money. Hundreds.
Lots of them.
Or maybe you're all talk. She should walk away. She should call the police. She should do anything except what she was about to do. Fine. The word came out before she could stop it. His smile grew wider. Get me my steak, sweetheart. And make it perfect. She walked into the kitchen. Her hands were shaking. What are you doing? The cook, old Mike, they called him, grabbed her arm. That's Victor Cross. You know who that is. Everyone knew who Victor Cross was. He controlled half the city. Owned the docks. Owned the warehouses. Owned half the police force. If you crossed Victor Cross, you disappeared. I need to cook a steak, Mike. You need to quit.
Right now.
Walk out the back door, and don't come back. She looked at the order ticket in her hand. $1,000. She made $8.50 an hour. Plus tips. $1,000 would pay her rent. Would fix her car. Would buy her little brother the medicine he needed. Just help me cook the steak, Mike. 20 minutes later, she carried the plate to the corner booth. Perfect sear. Perfect temperature. Perfect everything. She set it down in front of Victor Cross. He cut into it with his knife. Red juice pooled on the plate. He took a bite.
Chewed slowly.
Swallowed.
Set down his fork.
It's good. She let out a breath she didn't know she was holding. It's very good. Relief flooded through her. But her stomach dropped. It's not perfect. What's wrong with it? He pointed at the steak. Too much pepper. She stared at him. You didn't say anything about. I said perfect. This isn't perfect. He stood up. Parking lot. 10 minutes. My guys will make sure nobody interrupts us. This is insane. This is a deal. You agreed. Because you backed me into a corner. And now I'm gonna back you into another one. 10 minutes. He walked toward the door. She stood there, holding an empty tray, wondering how her life had gone so wrong so fast. The parking lot was empty except for 3 black cars. Victor's men stood in a circle, creating a makeshift ring. Victor stood in the center, rolling up his sleeves. She walked over slowly. Her heart was hammering in her chest. She hadn't told him. She hadn't told anyone. 6 years ago, before her father died, before she had to drop out of college, before she became a waitress. She was different. You ready? Victor asked. She stepped into the circle. 3 rounds. 3 minutes each. You survive, you get $500 for the effort. You said 1,000. That was if the steak was perfect. It wasn't. Of course. And if I win? She asked. He laughed. So did his men. If you win, sweetheart, I'll give you $10,000. The men laughed harder. She said nothing, just rolled her shoulders, stretched her neck. Old habits. All right then. Victor raised his fists. Let's see what you. She hit him.
Fast. Clean.
Right in the jaw. His head snapped back. The laughter stopped. Victor touched his lip.
Blood.
He looked at his fingers. Then at her. Okay, he said quietly. Okay. He came at her fast. But she was faster. She slipped his punch. Countered with a hook to his ribs. He grunted. Swung again. She ducked. Uppercut to his chin. His eyes went wide.
She didn't stop.
6 years of training. 6 years of discipline. 6 years of being the best in her division. It all came flooding back.
Jab. Cross.
Hook. Uppercut. Victor stumbled backward. His men stared in shock. Boss, one of them shouted. Victor held up a hand. Nobody moves. He charged at her. She sidestepped. He crashed into one of the cars. She was breathing hard now. Not from exhaustion. From adrenaline. Victor turned around. His nose was bleeding. His eye was swelling. But he was smiling.
Who are you? He asked.
She didn't answer. No waitress moves like that. No normal person fights like that. He wiped blood from his mouth.
Who are
you? Someone who needed a job. That's not an answer. She lowered her fists. Are we done? Not even close. He came at her again. This time he was ready. He faked left, went right. Caught her with a shot to the shoulder. She stumbled. He pressed forward.
She blocked.
Blocked again. He was strong. Really strong. And he was getting angry. You made me look weak, he shouted. In front of my men, he swung hard. She barely dodged. His fist hit the car window behind her. Glass shattered. He didn't even flinch. She realized something in that moment. This wasn't about the steak. This wasn't even about the fight. This was about respect. And she'd just disrespected the most dangerous man in the city. Round 2. One of Victor's men called out. She was breathing hard now. So was Victor. They circled each other. Last chance, Victor said. Tell me who you are and we end this. Why does it matter? Because nobody, and I mean nobody, has ever hit me like that. Not in 15 years. He spit blood onto the concrete. So, either you tell me or I find out myself. And trust me, you don't want me digging into your life. She went cold. Her little brother. Her mother. The hospital bills. If Victor Cross started digging, he'd find everything. I used to box, she said quietly. Yeah, I figured that out. Golden gloves. Regional champion. 3 years straight. The men around them went quiet. What's your name? Victor asked again. She hesitated. Tell me your real name.
K.
They called me K. One of Victor's men gasped. No way, he said. You're not, you can't be. Shut up, Victor snapped. He stared at her. K, the hurricane. That K? She nodded. You disappeared 6 years ago. Middle of your career. Nobody knew why. My father died. Medical bills. My mom got sick. My little brother needed help. I gave it all up. Victor lowered his fists. You were supposed to go pro. Everyone said you were the next big thing. Yeah, well, life had other plans. So you became a waitress. I became whatever paid the bills. He studied her face. Something changed in his eyes. Not softer, but different. You could have told me. Would it have mattered? Maybe. I needed this job. I couldn't risk losing it by bragging about who I used to be. She raised her fists again. Are we fighting or talking? He smiled. Both. He came at her again, but this time it was different. He wasn't trying to hurt her. He was testing her.
Jab.
She blocked.
Cross.
She countered.
Hook.
She ducked. They moved around the circle like dancers. Like they'd been training together for years. His men watched in silence. 1 minute. 2 minutes. 3 minutes. Time. One of the men called. They both stopped, breathing hard, blood on both their faces. But neither was backing down. One more round, Victor said. Why? Because I need to know. Know what? If you're really as good as they said you were. She wiped blood from her mouth.
Fine.
One more round. Round 3 was different. They both knew it. This wasn't about the stake anymore. Wasn't about pride. This was about two fighters recognizing each other. Victor moved first. She countered. He blocked. She faked. He fell for it. She hit him clean in the ribs. He coughed. But he smiled. There it is, he said. That's the hurricane. She didn't respond. Just kept moving. He came at her harder. She gave it right back. The men around them were shouting now. Not for Victor. For the fight itself. Because they were watching something beautiful. Two warriors. Equal skill. Equal determination.
Punch. Block. Counter. Dodge.
It went on for 2 minutes. Then Victor did something unexpected. He dropped his hands. That's enough, he said. She stopped. What? You win. I didn't. You won the second you stepped into the circle. He turned to his men. Pay her. One of them pulled out a wallet. Counted out money. $10,000. He handed it to her. She stared at it. I don't understand. Victor grabbed his jacket from one of the cars. You're the real deal. You proved it. That's all I needed to know. He started walking toward his car. Then stopped. You still work at that restaurant? I guess so. If I'm not fired, you're not. I own it. Her eyes went wide. What? I own half the businesses on this street, including that restaurant. He opened his car door. Monday morning, 9 a.m. There's a gym on 5th and Main. Old brick building. Can't miss it. Why would I? Because I'm offering you a job. Training my guys. $20 an hour. Plus bonuses. I'm a waitress.
No.
He looked back at her. You're a fighter. You've always been a fighter. The waitress thing? That's just what you did to survive. He got in his car. Think about it. The cars drove away. She stood in the parking lot, holding $10,000, her face swelling, her knuckles bleeding. And for the first time in 6 years, she smiled. She didn't sleep that night. Just sat at her kitchen table, staring at the money. $10,000. Her little brother's medicine cost $300 a month. Rent was $1,200. Car payment was $250. This money, it changed everything. But the job offer, $20 an hour. That was more than double what she made at the restaurant. Could she really go back to that world? The world that almost destroyed her? Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. The offer stands.
V.
How did he get her number? Then she remembered who he was. Victor Cross could get anything. She typed back. Why me? 3 dots appeared. Then, because you didn't back down. Even when you should have. She stared at the message. Typed, I'll think about it. Don't think too long. Guys like me don't make offers twice. She set down the phone. Monday morning. She stood outside the gym on 5th and Main. The building was old. Red brick. Small sign that just said, cross training. Of course. She pushed open the door. The smell hit her immediately.
Sweat.
Leather.
Chalk.
The sound of gloves hitting bags. Feet moving on canvas. Heavy breathing. It was like coming home. You came. She turned. Victor stood in the corner, wrapping his hands. His face was bruised. Black eye. Split lip. She probably looked the same. I came to talk, not to accept. Fair enough. He gestured to the ring in the center. Talk while you work. I'm not. He tossed her a pair of gloves. She caught them automatically. Come on, Hurricane. Show my guys what a real fighter looks like. Around the gym, men stopped working, stared at her. That's her? One of them whispered. That's the girl who rocked the boss. She looked at the gloves in her hands, then at Victor. 1 round, she said. 1 round. She stepped into the ring. The canvas felt good under her feet. Victor climbed in across from her. His guys gathered around, watching. Light sparring, Victor said. Just showing them technique. She nodded. They touched gloves. Started moving. Immediately she felt it. The rhythm. The flow. Everything she'd lost 6 years ago. It was all still there. Victor threw a jab. She slipped it. Countered with a cross. He blocked. They moved around the ring. See that? Victor called to his men. She's not just throwing punches. Every movement has purpose. She threw a combination. Victor blocked the first 2. The third caught him on the shoulder. Weight transfer, he continued, never taking his eyes off her. She's putting her whole body into it. They circled. What happened to your career? Victor asked quietly. Just between them. Told you. Family. But you were so close. Close doesn't pay medical bills. He threw a hook. She ducked. You ever regret it? Every single day. The honesty surprised her. She'd never said that out loud before. Victor paused. Take the job, he said. I don't train criminals. You don't know what we do. Everyone knows what you do. Do they? He lowered his gloves. Get out of the ring. Let me show you something. Victor led her to an office in the back of the gym. It was nicer than she expected. Computer. File cabinets. Pictures on the wall. Sit, he said. She sat. He pulled out a folder. Set it in front of her. This is what we really do. She opened it. Inside were photos. Documents. Reports. That's Marcus. 17. Parents died in a car crash. He was headed for juvie. Victor pointed to the photo. Now he works here. Training. Learning discipline. He's got a job at the docks. Legal. Clean. He pulled out another file. This is Tommy. Used to run with a gang. Got shot 3 times before he was 16. Victor tapped the paper. Now he's a personal trainer. Got his own apartment. Hasn't touched a gun in 4 years. Another file. This is Ray. His dad beat him half to death every night. So I beat his dad and gave Ray a place to stay. She looked up at Victor. You think I'm some kind of saint? Victor sat on the edge of the desk. I'm not. I've done bad things. Really bad things. But this gym? He gestured around. This is where I try to balance the scales. By teaching them to fight? By teaching them discipline, respect, self-control. He leaned forward. You know what boxing taught you? Not just how to throw a punch. It taught you when not to throw a punch. It taught you patience, strategy, how to take a hit and keep going. She looked at the files again. These kids, they got nothing. No parents. No money. No future. The streets are going to eat them alive. Victor's voice got quieter. But if someone teaches them how to fight, really fight, maybe they survive. Maybe they become something better. She closed the folder. Why boxing? Why not just give them jobs? Because boxing saved my life. Victor rolled up his sleeve. Long scar down his forearm. My father gave me that when I was 12. Said I was weak. Worthless. He rolled the sleeve back down. So, I learned to fight. And when I was strong enough, I fought back. And I won. Silence. I'm not asking you to join the family business, Victor said. I'm asking you to train these kids. Teach them what boxing taught you. Maybe save a few lives. She stared at him. This wasn't what she expected. Not at all. 20 an hour? She asked. 20 an hour. Plus you can use the gym whenever you want. Train yourself. For free. Why do you care if I train? He smiled. Because 6 years ago, you were going somewhere. And I want to see if you can get there again. She started the next day.
6 kids.
Ages 15 to 19. They looked at her like she was a joke. This is our trainer? One of them said. Big kid. Maybe 6'2". Boss, come on. Her name is Kay, Victor said from the corner. And if you're smart, you'll show respect.
Why?
She's like 5'0". Kay stepped forward.
You.
What's your name? Dre. Okay, Dre. Put on gloves. He laughed. Seriously? Dead serious. Victor smiled. Dre looked at his friends, shrugged, grabbed gloves. They got in the ring. Light contact, Kay said. Just showing these guys what you've got. Whatever you say, ma'am. The disrespect was clear. Victor's smile got bigger. They touched gloves. Dre came at her fast. Heavy punches. No technique. Just raw power. She slipped every single one. Made it look easy. Come on, Dre shouted. Fight back. She waited. He swung wild. She ducked under it. Came up with an uppercut. Pulled it at the last second. Her glove stopped an inch from his chin. If she'd followed through, he'd be unconscious. Dre froze. Technique beats power, Kay said quietly.
Every
single time. She stepped back. Again. This time, think before you swing. Dre came at her slower. More careful. She still slipped everything. But this time, she called out corrections. Tuck your elbow.
There.
That's better. Rotate your hips. Power comes from the ground up. Watch my eyes, not my hands. 5 minutes later, Dre was breathing hard. Kay wasn't even sweating. See the difference? She asked the other kids. They nodded. Good. Now everyone partner up. We're working basics. Weeks passed. The kids improved.
Fast.
Word spread. More kids showed up. Soon Kay was training 12 kids. Then 15. Then 20. The gym got crowded. Victor watched from his office most days. Watched her teach. Watched her move. Watched her come alive again. One evening, after everyone left, he came down to the ring. She was hitting the heavy bag. Hard. You're staying late more and more, he said. She didn't stop. Getting back in shape. For what? I don't know yet. He climbed into the ring. Held the bag steady. She hit harder. You miss it, he said. Every day. So why'd you really quit?
She stopped.
Breathing hard. My dad.
He was sick.
Cancer. We couldn't afford treatment, and the insurance wouldn't cover it all. She wiped sweat from her face. I had a fight coming up. Big purse. 50,000 if I won. Could have paid for everything. What happened? I won. But he died 2 days later. Before I could bring him the money. Victor said nothing. The money went to his funeral instead. And my mom's bills. And my brother's medicine. She hit the bag once more. Softly. Boxing stopped meaning anything after that. Every time I stepped in the ring, I just saw his face. Disappointed that I couldn't save him. That's not fair to yourself. Life's not fair.
No.
Victor moved around the bag. Faced her. But you're letting guilt rob you of something you love. Something you're brilliant at. It doesn't matter anymore. Doesn't it? He stepped closer. These kids. You're changing their lives. Every single day. You think that doesn't matter? She looked at him. Really looked at him. When had his eyes stopped being cold. Why do you care? She asked. Because I recognize someone running from their past. He touched the scar above his eyebrow. And I know how that ends. They stood there. In the ring. In the quiet gym. Too close. Kay stepped back. I should go.
Yeah.
But he didn't move. Same time tomorrow? Same time. She left. Victor stayed in the ring long after she was gone. 3 months later, Victor came to her with a flyer. What's this? She asked. Local tournament. Next month. Okay. I want you to enter. She laughed. I'm not competing anymore. Why not? Because I'm 32 years old. I haven't fought competitively in 6 years. I'd get destroyed. Then get ready in 6 weeks. That's not how this works. K. He set the flyer on her desk. You're training 20 kids how to chase their dreams. But you gave up on yours. How's that supposed to inspire them? That's not fair. It's completely fair. He leaned against the doorframe. Dre asked me yesterday why you don't compete. You know what I told him? She didn't answer. I told him you were scared. Her eyes flashed. I'm not scared. Then prove it. This is manipulation. This is motivation. He pushed off the doorframe. Entry fee is $200. I'll cover it. You just show up and fight. And when I lose? Then you lose. But at least you tried. He walked away. The flyer stayed on her desk. She stared at it for an hour, then picked up a pen, signed her name. She trained like a demon. Every morning, every evening. The kids saw it, started training harder themselves. Victor watched from his office. Watched her transform from a waitress who used to fight into a fighter who happened to wait tables. She still worked 1 shift a week at the restaurant. She got faster, stronger, sharper. Her timing came back. Her instincts returned. One evening, Victor came down while she was sparring with Dre. The kid had gotten good, really good. But Kay was still better. She slipped his jab, countered with a hook that stopped an inch from his head. Time, Victor called. They both stopped. Dre, hit the showers. Kay, stay a minute. Dre climbed out. Kay grabbed water. You ready? Victor asked. For the tournament? I guess.
No.
I mean really ready. In your head. She took a drink. I don't know. What's holding you back? I keep thinking about the last time I fought. Right before my dad died. She set down the bottle. What if I'm not that person anymore? You're not, Victor said simply. She looked at him. That person was young. Hungry. Fighting for glory. He stepped closer. Now you're older. You've suffered. You've sacrificed. Another step. You're not fighting for glory anymore. You're fighting for something bigger. What's that? To show these kids that you can come back from anything. Her breath caught. The tournament's in 3 days, Victor said. Whatever happens, I'm proud of what you've built here. He turned to leave. Victor.
He stopped.
Thank you. He nodded. Left her alone in the ring. The venue was small. Maybe 300 people. Local fighters. Local crowd. Kay stood in the locker room, wrapping her hands. Her fingers shook slightly. A knock on the door. Come in. Victor entered. With all 20 kids. What are you doing here? She asked. We came to watch, Dre said. All of you. You taught us to fight. A girl named Sam said. Now we're here to watch you do it. Kay felt tears prick her eyes. You guys didn't have to. Yeah, we did, Dre interrupted. You showed up for us every day. Now we're showing up for you. Victor handed her gloves. Let's go, Hurricane. The first fight was easy. Her opponent was young, aggressive, but sloppy. Kay took her apart in 2 rounds. The second fight was harder. A woman her age, former amateur champion. But Kay's experience showed. She won by decision. The third fight, the final. Kay stood in the tunnel, waiting to be called. Her opponent was younger,
Faster.
undefeated in 15 fights. You got this, Victor said beside her. She's really good. So are you. The announcer called her name. She walked to the ring. The kids were screaming. Victor was silent, just watching, believing. She climbed through the ropes. Her opponent was already there, bouncing, ready. They touched gloves. The bell rang. Round 1 was brutal. Her opponent was fast. So fast. Kay couldn't keep up at first. Took shots to the body, to the head. The crowd was roaring. Between rounds, Victor was calm. Stop chasing her. Let her come to you. She's too fast. So make her slow down. Work the body. Make her breathe. Round 2. Kay followed the advice. Stopped chasing. Started counterpunching. When her opponent came in, Kay hit her to the ribs.
Once. Twice.
3 times. By the end of the round, the girl was breathing hard. Kay's corner. That's it, Victor said. She's slowing down. Now you speed up. Round 3. The final round. Kay came out like a storm. The hurricane. Combination after combination. Her opponent covered up. Tried to survive. Kay didn't let up. Body shot. Head shot.
Body.
Head. The girl stumbled. Kay pressed forward. One more combination. The girl dropped. The referee counted. 7, 8, 9. The girl tried to stand. Couldn't. 10. The crowd exploded. Kay stood there, breathing hard, barely believing it. Victor climbed into the ring. You did it, he said. She turned to him, and without thinking, hugged him. He froze, then slowly put his arms around her. The kids rushed the ring.
Piled on.
Screaming, celebrating. Kay stood in the center of it all, and for the first time in 6 years, felt whole. 3 days later, everything changed.
Kay was at the gym.
Morning training session. The door burst open. For men in suits. Not Victor's men. Everyone out. One of them said. The kids looked at Kay. Do what he says, she told them. They left. Slowly. The men waited until the gym was empty. Where's Victor Cross? I don't know. Don't lie to us. I'm not. I'm just a trainer here. The man smiled. You're Kay Lawson, former Golden Gloves champion, currently employed by Victor Cross, which makes you an associate. Her blood ran cold. Associate in what? Don't play dumb. He stepped closer. Victor's organization is under federal investigation. Has been for 6 months. Everyone connected to him is a person of interest. I just train kids. In a gym owned by a criminal. I didn't know. You didn't ask. He dropped a card on the desk. When Victor surfaces, you call this number. Or you become an accessory. They left. Kay stood there, shaking. Her phone rang. Victor. She answered. Don't come to the gym, he said immediately. They were already here. Silence. I'm sorry, Victor said. What's happening? Something from my past caught up. I need to handle it. Victor. Stay away from me. From the gym. From everything. I'll contact you when it's safe. What about the kids? The kids are clean. So are you. As long as you stay away. I'm not just going to. Kay. His voice was firm. Final. This is the world I live in. I should have never brought you into it. I'm sorry. The line went dead. She tried calling back. Straight to voicemail. 1 week passed. No word from Victor. The gym was closed.
Locked.
The kids kept texting her, asking questions. She had no answers. The federal agent, his card said Agent Morrison, called her every day. She never answered. On the 8th day, someone knocked on her apartment door. She looked through the peephole. A woman. Expensive clothes. Professional. Kay, opened the door. Kay Lawson? Yes. My name is Sarah Chen. I'm Victor Cross's attorney. She held up a briefcase. May I come in?
Kay let her in.
Sarah sat. Opened the briefcase. Victor asked me to give you this. She pulled out an envelope. Kay opened it.
A check.
For $200,000. Her hands shook. What is this? Severance. The gym is being seized by the government. Your employment is terminated. This is compensation. I don't want his money. It's not about want. It's about need. Sarah pulled out another document. He also wanted me to give you this. A deed. To the gym. He's signing it over to you. Full ownership. It's in a legal trust. Completely separate from his other businesses. The feds can't touch it. Kay stared at the paper. Why would he do this? Because he said you'd keep it alive. Keep helping those kids. Sarah stood. He also said to tell you that you were right. That some things are worth fighting for that aren't about money or power. Where is he? I can't tell you that. Can't or won't. Sarah walked to the door.
Paused.
He's turning himself in tomorrow. Federal custody. He'll probably get 15 to 20 years. She looked back. He said this was his way of balancing the scales. One last time. She left. Kay sat alone with a check and a deed and a broken heart she didn't know she had. The gym reopened under new management. Kay's management. The sign out front now read, Hurricane GYM, where fighters are born. 50 kids, trained there now. The tournament win had brought attention. Media coverage. Sponsorships. Kay had used Victor's money to expand. New equipment. Better facilities. A scholarship program for kids who couldn't afford training. She stood in her office, looking at the newspaper clipping on the wall. Her tournament victory. Below it, another clipping. Local businessman sentenced to 18 years. Victor's face stared out from the photo. She touched it gently. She'd tried to visit him 3 times. He'd refused to see her every time. Sent messages through his lawyer. Move forward. Don't look back. You're free now. But she didn't feel free. A knock on her door. Coach. Dre poked his head in. There's someone here to see you. Who? Didn't give a name. Just said it's important. Kay walked to the gym floor. A man stood by the ring. Expensive suit. Briefcase. Not a Fed. Something else. Kay Lawson? That's me. My name is Robert Graham. I'm a promoter. He handed her a business card. I was at your tournament 6 months ago. I've been following your career. Your comeback story. Okay. I want to offer you a professional contract. 6 fights. Guaranteed money. If you win, we build you into a title contender. Her heart stopped. I'm 32. And you beat a 24-year-old undefeated prospect like she was a beginner. Robert smiled. Age is just a number if you've got the skill. And you've got the skill. I have responsibilities here. The gym. The kids. Keep the gym. Keep the kids. Train them during the day. We'll schedule your fights around your life, not the other way around. He opened his briefcase. This is what we're offering. He showed her a contract. The numbers made her dizzy. This is your second chance. The one you deserved 6 years ago. She looked at the contract. Then at the kids training behind her. Then at Victor's picture on the wall. Can I think about it? Take a week. But Kay. Robert packed up his briefcase. Some opportunities don't come twice. You already lost this once. Don't lose it again. He left. Kay stood there, holding a dream she thought was dead. That night, Kay drove to the federal prison. 3 hours away. She'd been denied visitation before. But she hadn't taken no for an answer this time. She'd called his lawyer. Begged. Pleaded. Finally, Sarah had made it happen. 1 visit. 30 minutes. Kay sat in the visiting room. White walls. Metal table. Plastic chairs. The door opened. Victor walked in. He looked different. Thinner. Grayer. Older. But his eyes were the same. He stopped when he saw her. You shouldn't be here, he said. Sit down. Kay. Sit. Down. He sat. They stared at each other across the table. You look good, he finally said. You look terrible. He laughed. It sounded rusty. Like he hadn't laughed in months. Prison isn't a spa. Why won't you see me? I've tried 3 times. Because I didn't want you connected to this. To me. You have a clean slate now. I don't want a clean slate. I want the truth. The truth is I'm a criminal who made bad choices and now I'm paying for them. That's not the whole truth. Victor leaned back. What do you want me to say? That you didn't just give me the gym because you felt guilty. That the last 6 months meant something. Silence. Kay. I'm going pro, she said suddenly. His eyes widened. A promoter came by today. Offer me a contract. 6 fights. Real money. A shot at a title. That's incredible. Is it? Because I can't celebrate it with the person who made it possible. I didn't. You did. You saw me working in that restaurant. Dead inside. Going through motions. And you challenged me. You pushed me. You reminded me who I was. That was all you. No. She leaned forward. It was us. We built that gym together. We saved those kids together. Her voice broke. I don't know what this is, but it's something. And you're in here, and I'm out there, and it's not fair. Life's not fair. You taught me that. Don't throw my words back at me. Victor reached across the table, stopped just before touching her hand. Guards were watching. Take the contract, he said quietly. Victor.
Take it.
Win every fight. Become the champion you were always supposed to be. His voice got softer. And when you're holding that belt, when you're standing in that ring, remember that you did it. Not me. Not anyone else. You. Tears ran down her face. 18 years is a long time. I'll be out in 12 with good behavior. You'll be 55. And you'll be 44. Still young enough to beat me in a fight. She laughed through her tears. Time's up, a guard called. Victor stood. Train hard. Fight harder. Make me proud. I already made you proud. That day in the parking lot. He smiled.
Yeah.
You did. He walked to the door.
Stopped.
K. Yeah. After my first pro fight, when I win, I'm coming back here to tell you about it. I'll be waiting. He nodded. Walked through the door. She sat there long after he was gone. 2 years later. Kay stood in the tunnel. The biggest fight of her life. Madison Square Garden. 20,000 people. The championship belt on the line. Her record. 9-0. 9 straight wins as a professional. Her opponent, the current champion. Undefeated in 22 fights. In the locker room, her team wrapped her hands. The same kids from the gym. Now young adults. Her corner crew. Dre worked her shoulders. Sam taped her gloves. And on the TV in the corner, a news report. Victor Cross, former organized crime figure, granted early release for good behavior and assistance to federal investigators. Released today after serving just 6 years of his sentence. Kay's heart stopped. Turn that up, she said.
They did.
The reporter continued. Cross, who cooperated extensively with federal authorities, helped dismantle 3 major criminal organizations. In exchange, his sentence was reduced. He was released this morning and had no comment for reporters. The screen showed him walking out of prison. He looked better, stronger, healthy. He looked directly at the camera for just a second, then got into a car and drove away. Coach. Dre asked, You okay? Kay wiped her eyes.
Yeah.
I'm perfect. She stood up. Let's go win a championship. The walk to the ring felt like a dream. The crowd was deafening. Her name on every screen. The hurricane flashing in lights. She climbed through the ropes. The champion was already there, staring her down. They touched gloves. You don't belong here, old lady, the champion said. Kay smiled. Watch me. The bell rang. The fight was everything she'd trained for. Brutal, beautiful, back and forth. The champion was younger, faster, but Kay was smarter, more patient. By round 7, they were even on the scorecards. 3 more rounds to decide everything. Between rounds, Dre gave her water. You're doing it, coach. You're really doing it. Not done yet. Sam wiped her face. What do you need? Kay looked up at the crowd. 20,000 people. But she was looking for one. Was he here? Did he come? Coach. Dre asked. She refocused. I need 3 more rounds. Perfect rounds.
Can you give me that?
They nodded. The bell rang for round 8. She fought like never before. Every technique she'd learned. Every lesson she'd taught. Every ounce of heart she had. The champion started to crack. Round 9. Kay landed a combination that staggered her. Round 10. Another combination. The champion's eye was swelling shut. The final bell rang. Both fighters stood. Exhausted. Bloody. Victorious just for surviving. The judges tallied their scores. The announcer stepped into the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Kay's heart was hammering. Judge Collins scores at 96-94. A pause. For the new champion, the crowd exploded. Kay, the Hurricane Lawson, Dre, and Sam rushed into the ring. The belt was wrapped around her waist. She'd done it. At 34 years old. After 6 years away. She was a world champion. The crowd was chanting her name. She climbed the corner turnbuckle, raised her arms, the belt shining under the lights. And there, in the back of the arena, standing alone, was Victor. Their eyes met across 20,000 people. He didn't smile, just put his fist over his heart, then nodded, and walked away. 3 days later. Early morning.
Kay was at the gym.
The championship belt sat on her desk. The kids had celebrated for hours. Media had been non-stop. But right now, the gym was empty. Just her and the heavy bag. She was hitting it lightly, recovering. The door opened. She didn't turn around. She knew who it was. "You came to the fight," she said. Wouldn't have missed it. Victor's voice. She stopped punching. Turned around. He looked good. Really good. Prison had changed him. Made him harder. But also lighter somehow. Like he'd let go of something heavy. "You didn't come to the celebration," she said. "Didn't want to steal your moment. It was your moment too." He walked closer.
No.
"It was always yours. I just got to be part of it for a while." They stood there, 6 feet apart. So much between them. "What happens now?" Kay asked. "I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to be a normal person." "You were never normal." "Neither were you." She smiled. "The gym's doing well," she said. 70 kids now. We've got sponsors. A real program. I heard. I've been keeping track. From prison. I had my ways."
Of course he did.
"What are you going to do now?" Kay asked. "You can't go back to before." "I know. That life's done. I made sure of it." He pulled out a business card. "I'm opening a community center. Legal.
Clean.
Helping kids stay off the streets. Similar to the gym, but bigger." "Copying me?" "Learning from you." She looked at the card. "You'll need trainers. People who know how to work with tough kids." "I might. You know anyone?" "I might. But she's pretty busy. World champion and all."
Right.
"That would be a problem." They smiled. "Victor." "Yeah. That day in the parking lot.
When you challenged me to that fight.
What were you really doing?"
He thought about it.
"Honestly, I was testing you. Seeing if you'd back down. And when I didn't, I recognized someone like me. Someone who'd been broken by life, but refused to stay broken." He stepped closer. "And I wanted to see if I could help put you back together. Because nobody ever did that for me." Her eyes got wet. "You did more than put me back together." "So did you." The space between them was smaller now. "I have a title defense in 6 months," she said. "I'll be there." "And after?" "After what?" "After the fights. After the gym. After everything." She took a breath. "What happens with us?" Victor looked at her. Really looked at her. "I don't know," he said honestly. "I've never been good at the after. I'm always fighting. Always moving. Never staying. Maybe it's time to learn. Maybe." He reached out. Took her hand. "But if I stay, I'm all in. No half measures. And my life, it's complicated." "So is mine." "You're a world champion. You have everything. Except the one person who believed in me when nobody else did." His breath caught. "Kay. I'm not asking for promises. I'm not asking for perfect." She stepped closer. "I'm just asking if you're willing to try. To see what this could be." He looked at their hands. Then at her face. "I've done terrible things. Things I can never take back. You deserve better than. I deserve someone who sees me. Really sees me. Not the champion. Not the trainer. Just me." She squeezed his hand. "Do you see me?" "Every day for the last 2 years. Even through prison walls." "Then that's enough." She pulled him closer. Their foreheads touched. "This is crazy," he whispered. "Everything about us has been crazy." True. They stood there. The morning sun coming through the gym windows. 2 fighters who'd beaten the world. Now figuring out how to stop fighting each other. "1 round at a time?" she asked. "1 round at a time," he agreed. The gym was packed. Championship viewing party. Kay's 5th title defense. Playing on every screen. But Kay wasn't fighting tonight. She'd retired 6 months ago. Undefeated. 15-0. 5 successful title defenses. Hall of Fame career. Now she stood in her office, watching Dre fight on TV. Her first professional student to go pro. Victor came in with 2 cups of coffee. He's doing good, Victor said. He's doing great. We trained him right. You trained him right. She took the coffee.
We.
Victor smiled. They'd been together 3 years now. It hadn't been easy. His past came up sometimes. Old enemies.
Old debts.
Her schedule was brutal. Training. Promoting. Building the gym. But they'd figured it out. 1 round at a time. Dre's winning, someone shouted from the gym. They walked out together. 100 people packed into the gym, all watching Dre dominate his opponent. The final bell rang. Unanimous decision. Dre won. The gym erupted in cheers. Kay felt Victor's hand slip into hers. We did that, he said quietly.
Yeah.
We did. On the screen, Dre was giving his post-fight interview. I want to thank my trainer, Coach K and Victor, and everyone at Hurricane Gym. They saved my life. For real. I was headed nowhere, and they gave me somewhere to go. Kay wiped her eyes. You okay? Victor asked.
Yeah.
We really did it, you know? We saved some lives. We saved each other too. She looked at him.
Yeah.
We did. The party continued around them. Kids laughing. Training. Celebrating. The gym alive with hope and second chances. Kay looked at the championship belt on the wall. Then at the kids. Then at Victor. You know what's better than being champion? She asked. What?
This.
Right here. Building something that lasts. Victor squeezed her hand. One more round, he asked. She smiled. Always.